guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that small size, power pack filled crossover SUV from Genesis. What vehicle is it? It's this one right here. This is a 2025 Genesis GV70. This is a top sport prestige trim with the twin turbo V6. But before we get into this Capri Blue all-wheel drive smaller crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Genesis, they're doing the business. They're really filling up their lineup of vehicles very nicely, and they have some strong additions. The GV70 is one of them. It is their second smallest crossover SUV. The smallest is the GV60, which is full electrified. This, though, you could still get with that good old-fashioned ICE setup underneath the hood, and boy, oh boy, is it a nice setup with twin turbos. Now, of course, in the performance luxury segment, there's a lot of competition from Audi, from BMW, from Mercedes with AMG, and of course, Porsche. So what I want to find out is, do you go GV70 over the competition, especially the Macan, or like I said, that BMW X3? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our GV70 and find out. Right off the bat, the color. This Capri Blue has a nice, classy, sporty style to it with a lot of metal flake. Now up front, you're gonna get that very familiar styling from Genesis, the split level, full LED projector beam headlight, LED daytime running lamp, and the turn signals all built in. Working our way down, we have functionality. Massive corner air curtains. I like the flat black and that aggressive style to those corner air intakes. And like I said, with the headlight design, you're not going to confuse this with any other luxury brand out there. Now, as we come across that massive grille, BMW couldn't figure it out, but boy, did Genesis figure out how to get the large grille to look great. Dark chrome finish, forward-facing camera, active shutters behind the grille, and then you'll notice how everything comes to a point. Love that crisscross lace pattern, and even the way that they did this lower lip extension gives it, like I said, an aggressive sporty look, but it also looks classy at the same time, and it's fully functional. Now, as we rise up, you have that Genesis badge, started back in 2015 as their own premium brand, and now they're making big gains in the auto industry. I love all the nice sharp edges, gives it a lot of character. The one zonk I have is the overbite on the hood. I guess that's there for pedestrian safety. God forbid if you hit somebody, but from styling standpoint, that just looks goofy. Now, as we come around the bend, we got some wheels for you, and I'm loving the dark polished finish on them. So if you're wondering how big are these wheels, you're looking at 22-inch wheels. Love the design, just like all the stuff from the grille on this 21-inch wheel, not 22-inch, I made a mistake, 21-inch wheel. You do have standard Brembo brakes with the Genesis name there. It's hard to see because of the spoke, but it's there. Over 14-inch rotors, 14.2-inch rotors up front, 13.6-inch rotors out back. So you're gonna get some premium braking capability. We have adaptive suspension, all four corners, and I love the way they paint everything around the fender opening, and I'm really digging on our Sport Prestige one, the darker wheels. Let me know how you feel about our color combination. One zonk I have is, why did they have to extend fake vent into the side here? That seems kind of pointless. So definitely gonna zonk that, but the wheel, I'm loving it. Let me know how you feel about it. Like I said, 21-inch wheel, not 22, 21-inch wheel, looks great. Now, as we continue down the side, those crisp lines, you do have power folding mirrors, 360-degree cameras, and we have dark, semi-dark, shiny metalwork top and bottom. You do have color-matched mirror door handles with the dark chrome finish, and I love the way everything is painted. From top to bottom, body color, Capri Blue, great color. We have our gloss black roof rails, and beyond that, we do have a panoramic sunroof, which I'll show you that when we get to the interior. I love the way they worked the rear quarter panel into the pillar here, and with the trim, how it just waterfalls, woo, right into a tip with the quarter glass and those nice crisp lines. I'm gonna have Steven come around to show you those crisp lines coming off the passenger door, rear passenger door, into the quarter panel. And just like up front, we have our split level taillights, the GV70 badge, of course. My zonk is all this fake vent. What in the hell is going on here? Why did we need that? Just keep it smooth, just like this. Does that look that bad? I don't think so. So I would leave it just smooth, not the fake vent, but I am happy to say that you do have functional exhaust on both sides with the decorative trim ring. And then you'll notice how we have our all-wheel drive badge, 3.5T. That's the goodness. That's the twin turbocharged goodness. Wish we could get rid of this wiper, but the problem is that's where the button is to open up the rear hatch. So maybe move this here, since that is nicely extended on the roof spoiler, and I love the way they work the third brake light into the rear spoiler, and then take this and put it underneath here. That's just my advice. Now dropping it all the way to the ground level, you have this simulated rear diffuser. It's just this fake crisscross thing has gotta go. Gotta go. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what makes this GV70 go. Right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. You'll even notice the bracing that they put from the shock top mount to the front of the vehicle to stiffen things up, and underneath that hood, look at it, twin turbocharged V6. It's the same engine from the GV80, which is actually larger than this vehicle. So what do we got? 375 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission with all-wheel drive, 0 to 60, faster than Steven's Type R. 4.8 seconds, 0 to 60, quarter mile, 13.4 seconds at 104 miles per hour, top speed 150 miles per hour, MPGs 19 in the city, 25 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,584 pounds. So, like I said, to have that kind of zippy performance in a luxury crossover SUV, you can see why I'm comparing this to a Porsche Macan, BMW X3 M, and all the others. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this engine and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Genesis GV70 Sport Prestige 3.5T. It is a lot to say, but it's quite impressive what you're getting on the outside, especially the inside. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, I want to spoil myself. I just got a promotion. I deserve to get an upgrade. I'm liking this GV70. How much is it? First of all, congratulations on your promotion. Second of all, MSRP for this particular one is right at $69,700. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love, love, love the two-tone style. So you have the dark leather style material up top with the red contrast stitching. The silver on the door handle there and the speaker grill cover is very tasteful. Then you have the dark fireball red leather style material and carbon fiber in the center there on the armrest. Door pocket is a great size. You can get two 12-inch subs from Subway with extra cheese and pickle and a nice bottle of Fanta to wash it down. And we have the Lexicon premium sound system in here. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the two-tone, so nice. The stitching on needlepoint, even the way that they did it on the sides here. Come on in, what do you got? 14.5-inch infotainment system. It is a full touchscreen. If you don't believe me, there's the touchscreen action. Let me show you the backup camera. Clear as day. Love the trajectory, the 360. You could do a little spin out there. I wish Steven would show up on the screen. I think that would be really cool. Of course, we could go into our menu, and you have all of the usual icons and apps to choose from, including quiet mode, your seat controls. Look at that. You can just click on there. Nice to have that all set up. And we do have massage seating. So right now I'm getting my pelvis massage. I know that sounds weird to say. First you start with the pelvis, waist, and then whole body. And you're doing it all either on the screen or from the button on the side of the seat. So it's nice to see that. I know Steven likes getting his pelvis heavily massaged. Of course, we have the bright silver decorative start-stop button. Ambient lighting, you see it? Got a nice glow. You do have actual knobs for your dual climate. And we do have 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, but we don't need heated seats today, that's for sure. Let me go back on ventilated here. There we go. And then you're gonna have your heated steering wheel. This is where you adjust your blower fan speed. But nice touch on the screen. It gives it a little bit of haptic kick when you touch the screen, which is kind of nice, or the other buttons. Working your way down, you have these toggle switches. And then look at the leather. Watch this. Open up door number 1. You got 2 USB-A's, wireless charging. You do have your drive mode selector switch, which I'll show you that on the business side. The finger thumb controls, little barrel controls. You even have a rotary dial control knob, just like a BMW if you don't want to touch the screen. There's our crystallized shifter, rotary shifter for the 8-speed automatic, 2 cup holders. Genesis key fob, looking good. It's got the smart park assist, which is nice. Carbon fiber on the side here. More of that delicious red leather. Open it up. You got a little tiny tray for a Rolex. And then you have in here a 12 volt and enough room, I would probably say, for probably 12 NES game cartridges. And have all the greats, man. You know, Super Mario Brothers, Contra, Castlevania, Metroid, Excite Bike. The list goes on and on. Those were the days. Those really were the days. Seats, the leather, Nappa leather. Love the diamond pleating, the piping, the bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. We have a super soft Alcantara headliner, and then check it out. One touch, power shade with a panoramic sunroof, nicely tinted. But once you come over here to the business end, I have a steering wheel that you're gonna wanna rub your hands all over. Come on over, I wanna show you. All right guys, come on in, business time. You do have 2 memory seat settings. A simple Genesis aluminum sill plate would have been nice if it lit up, so I am gonna zonk that. Pedal box is great. Nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle. You'll also see those little diamond patterns there from the grill. Good sized dead pedal, I just wish it was aluminum. Seat controls, easy to get to. That massage setting, you even have the hamstring extension, all electric of course. I'm 6 feet tall, and even though this is a smaller size crossover, I still feel phenomenal with a capital PH in here. Steering wheel, you got perforated leather, smooth leather, and look what they did. Leather on the horn button with the red stitching, flat black on all the switch gear. You do have paddles to go up and down, 8-speed automatic, but they are plastic, just something to be aware of. You do have an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then the dash display. Beautiful 12.3-inch digital display. Look at the graphics, especially when you go into the different modes. So there's eco. You do have comfort, of course, sport. They're like lightsabers. I love that. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll have your lightsaber action, and then of course you also have your blind spot cameras. Really, really nice. And I like the auxiliary gauges in the center, which if you don't want that, you could actually switch out of that as well. So they got a cornucopia of different information that you could put in the center. And on top of that is a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna like this GV70. All right guys, we are in the back seat of this GV70, and don't let the size fool you. It's one of those things that big things do come in small packages, and I'm not even close to that beautiful Alcantara headliner. And remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Now the backs of the seats, soft touch with the red. I gotta zonk these cargo nets. Even though it's that same pattern of the grill, you pour a bag of Skittles in here, they're just gonna go right through on the floor. And you just wasted your Skittles. The nice thing is you do have the chauffeur adjustments where you could tilt it backward and forward depending on how comfortable you wanna see in the back, sit in the back. Command center, heated seats, no ventilated seats. That's a zonk at 69 Gs. but you do have your your climate controls back here, and I like the way they mimic the ones up front. Home power source, 2 USB-A's, and then the seats. Nice Nappa leather. They don't slide, but they do recline, and they do recline quite a bit, which is nice. Woo, nice soft 2 cup holders, and you'll notice that you have the same diamond pleating as you do up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see what we could stuff in this smaller Genesis. All right, guys, cargo area time. Hit the button, nice electric assist. You're gonna be greeted to a pretty usable amount of space, which is nice to see. So loading floor is not too high, which is great. So you're not gonna have to lift things super high to get it in. You're looking at 29 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Seats down, 56.8 cubic feet of space. And the one thing I like to point out is that you do have handles to fold down those rear seats, which are nice. You have your Twinkie cargo net holder for when you're doing your track day. You got your 12 volt. And then let's check underneath. What do we have, everybody? You have a spare under there. So you actually do get a spare with this vehicle. And we can't forget Genesis Revelations Mark 12 2.7, the whole series. You could read this when you're really bored. So try to stay busy so you don't have to read this. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get busy and go on throttle in this GV70. All right, guys, we're inside this Genesis GV70. And right away in Sport Plus mode, that's gonna give you the most aggressive of the throttle sensitivity, steering sensitivity, and how the engine and transmission behaves. Watch this, the engine actually downshifts with the transmission. I love that. Really keeps the chassis stable so that when you're getting on throttle, here we go. Everything is rock solid. Look at this. All-wheel drive, keeping us planning. And very, very fast shifts. When you're in Sport Plus mode, the shifts really happen super quick. And like I said, the fact that when you're on the brakes, it's almost like blipping the throttle on each downshift, keeps the chassis very stable. And I think that's where the GV70 is really gonna surprise you, is when it comes to the way that it handles and goes about its business. Getting to the nice large 14.5-inch infotainment system, well within reach. And then if you don't want to touch the screen because you have a phobia of touching screens, you could use the direct drive control knob, which is really nice. And then you have all your buttons, go to your menu, home, whatever you want. Easy peasy. You got your drive mode selector switch, which is easily accessible. Plus the fact that you got the blind spot cameras make it so easy to drive this Genesis. But let's go on throttle again, shall we? On throttle, here we go. Nice purposeful shifts from that 8-speed automatic. And you hear how it holds on to that gear? And then get ready for the downshifts. Watch this. As I hit the brake. Nice, look at that. You do have, of course, all of your safety features. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, emergency brake assist. Woohoo! This thing is fun to drive. And I think that's one thing that we forget, is that it's good to have a vehicle that's fun to drive, makes you giggle. That's what driving is all about. Who the heck wants to be bored behind the wheel? Who wants to be adult-like? Growing up sucks. It does. Ask any adult that you know. And then of course you got the Brembo brakes, over 14-inch rotors up front, 13.6-inch rotors out back. Love the digital gauge cluster. And me personally, if you haven't seen my review to the 2025 GV80, I'll leave it at the end of this one, but I actually prefer the screens in this setup much more than in the 2025 GV80 that has just the one ginormous screen, especially with the head-up display and everything else. I mean, it's just a fun car to drive, easy car to drive. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. You are getting some pumped in sound. The good news is it's nothing too obnoxious. So you don't have to worry about that. And then of course, you got those Brembos. You ready? Here we go. Woohoo! On throttle. Nice. Love the power delivery in this thing. Twin turbos, 3.5 liters of V6 goodness. The only thing that's a little weird at first is that it's a backwards operating tachometer. So it's a counterclockwise tach, which is not my favorite. I like a traditional clockwise tach. But it still is very clear and easy to read, and you have the little lightsabers. So if you are a Star Wars fan, you're going to be happy. If you're a Star Trek fan, you may not be so happy. I don't know. But maybe this is a vehicle that Spock would drive. Then you'll be happy. Or Captain Kirk. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes, look at this. Nice downshifts. Remember, it's rear-wheel drive based, but with the all-wheel drive components. So you're getting that stick to the ground, which is nice, but it's still fun to drive. You got the multi-link rear suspension, and then when you get on the highway, what you can do is go into your drive modes and go into comfort. And then look at this. Now we're just chilling like a villain, cruising, or like my dad used to tell me, I'm cruising for a bruising, but you're just cruising here. I got the ventilated seats on and it feels freaking good. But that's what's great about this Genesis GV70. Each of the modes give you such a distinct personality. And I like that about the GV70. But why don't we go ahead? We need to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another power pack punch with this Genesis GV70. I definitely got to thank the whole team at Genesis getting us access to a 2025 GV70 Sport Prestige. Let me know what you think. Are you going GV70? Are you going Porsche Macan? Are you going BMW? Let me know down in that comment section where you would spend your hard-earned money. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. We need to give it up to one of the hardest working guys in YouTube. Give it up for Steven. He's actually going to be receiving an award from YouTube for being the great videographer that he is. Thank you, Steven, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.